What's up, guys? It's Big T. It's Friday. Not only is it Friday, but it's Friday before a 3-day weekend. Welcome to another edition of Linker Trivia. Another week down. I'm telling you, it was a crazy one this week, but we made it through. I don't know how your week was, but ours was nuts around here. I'm excited you're here because I'm excited every day. Just very excited, right? There's going to be a lot of good trivia all about those moppy-headed lads from Liverpool. That's right, the Beatles. The Beatles. Before we get started, I would like to thank Linker for giving us this cool Traeger thermometer. People, this thing is like one of the best things we've given away so far. It is a lot of fun, actually. It's really cool. And if nobody wins it, I'm taking it home today. Jason's probably not watching. So be the quickest to answer all 5 questions, and you will be the new owner of this Traeger thermometer or the other one that I buy to replace it. And if you miss a question, hit the second chance button and stay in the game. Let's get started. So let's start back in the beginning. In the 1950s, before they were the Beatles, John Lennon formed a skiffle band with a different name. It was later joined by Paul McCartney and George Harrison. Once they started to gain traction, they ditched the name in favor of the punny Beatles name. For Q1, what was the Beatles' original name? Foo Fighters, the Quarrymen, or the Crickets? Oh, I think my mom knows this one. And she's the only person playing today. Mom, if you win this thermometer, give it to me. John Lennon originally formed the skiffle group, which was an offshoot of rock and roll with school friends. They took the name from a line in their high school fight song. Their school's name was Quarry Bank High School, and their band was called the Quarrymen, of course. Ah, look at that. A few of you laddies got that one right. I think that's Irish. Anyway, amazingly, the original members of the Quarrymen still play together. Well, the ones that are alive. Anyway, let's move on. Speaking of the early days of the Beatles, a big controversy surrounded the band before they became worldwide phenoms when they cold-heartedly fired their drummer in order to bring Ringo Starr in. For Q2, who was the original drummer for the Beatles? Stuart Sutcliffe, Denny Sewell, or Pete Best? I'm thinking my nieces are going, how am I supposed to be knowing this? How do I know this? This was before I was born. One of the most tragic stories of all time, the Beatles were not satisfied with their drummer's ability and had their manager fire him just a few months before they blew up all over the world. That poor man's name was Pete Best. Ooh, a lot of you got that right. I had no idea about that until I read it today. Excuse me, pretty cool. Pete Best holds no animosity towards his former bandmates, and thanks to the release of the anthology album featuring his drumming performance, he is now a millionaire himself. Let's start. Oh, I'm just gonna have a little swig of Coors Light. Get the weekend started. While nearly every Beatles song was credited to Lennon, McCartney, and George Harrison, Ringo did actually write a couple of songs, including the simple "Don't Pass Me By." For Q3, what was the only other Beatles song Ringo was credited with writing? Yellow Submarine, Octopus Garden, or Drive My Car? Which one was it? Although officially a Ringo song, George Harrison did the lion's share of writing the music on this track. This song is often thought of as a children's song, and so is another song he sang on Yellow Submarine. But he didn't write that one. His was Octopus Garden. Ooh, see, we got some Beatles people in the house. I like it. 4 correct. We're getting down. We're getting down. George Harrison famously loved the tune, and the song took 32 takes to nail it down. In the mid-1960s, a conspiracy theory emerged about the group that caught fire. It was so popular that the group even acknowledged it a few times in their songs. For Q4, according to the famous fan conspiracy, which Beatle had secretly died? Was it John, George, or Paul? This is an interesting one. The theory alleges that a member angrily left a recording session and died in a car crash. The surviving Beatles panicked and had him replaced with a lookalike. Fans also claim that's why the Beatles stopped performing live. The theory was that Paul is dead theory. That was a tougher one. That was Q4. We got one left. In his scathing post-Beatles song, How Do You Sleep, John Lennon takes aim at former friend Paul McCartney when saying those freaks were right when they said you were dead. But it looks like Paul got the last laugh, because the other guy really... Anyway, Paul McCartney was notoriously difficult to work in the studio as he was an ardent perfectionist. During the recording of our one such album, Ringo Starr became so fed up with Paul that he abruptly left the session, quitting the group. This led Paul and the rest of the Beatles to drum in his place, leaving Ringo uncredited on a few tracks before he was persuaded back into the group. So for the last question, question 5, during the recording of which album did Ringo abruptly quit? Rubber Soul, the Beatles' White Album, or Let It Be? A couple of seconds left. The Beatles were famously in a state of disarray during a recording of this album. While laying down the Beach Boys-esque back in the USSR, Paul took his criticism of Ringo's drumming too far and he quit the band 2 weeks later. The album was, of course, the White Album. Oh, boom, look at that. 0 correct. That means we do have one winner. Thomas is taking this home. You guys are so sweet. You threw it just so I could take it home. I'm just kidding. Jason, somebody won this. That's why it's not in the office on Tuesday. And that's why it's at my house. Well, that's it for our Beatles game. I would like to give a big thank you to everyone for playing and to our event sponsor, Linker. Hey, guess what? It's Friday. We know that, but it's also a 3-day weekend and it's Memorial Day weekend. Get out the hot dogs and hamburgers, have a beer, fly your flag proudly, and we here at Linker would like to thank everyone that serves our country from the bottom of our hearts. That being said, there will be no game on Monday as we are taking a much needed day off. Mama, grab your floaties. We're headed to the lake. Don't forget to subscribe to my event feed and stay up to date on our upcoming events and get reminders when it's time to play. We will see you on Tuesday, 4 p.m. sharp. And remember, beautiful people, you are all winners in my book. Except for you, Pete Best. Just kidding. We love you. Peace out. Cheers.